Senator Rounds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, to both of you and to your families, thank you all for your service to our country. You both come as very qualified individuals to the new jobs in which you will step into very shortly. I want to take a little bit of time, though, and talk about what I think is one of the most important aspects of this new position that each of you will be in very shortly. And that is the difference between when we ask someone who doesn't wear the uniform of the United States of America, but rather a suit and tie, and when they come before this committee. Some from outside of government who will give us their opinion about issues and policies and positions. But then we have the individuals who come from an administration, and I've been here 10 years now, and I've seen 4 different administrations in which individuals come and they give us their opinion on what happens or a position with regard to policy. We take their statements with a grain of salt, recognizing that they represent an administration's point of view. But when we come to you as members of the armed services from the different branches, and we ask for your professional military opinion, it is perhaps one of the most important things that you can do to provide us directly and without color the black and white of exactly what you think, because that's what we rely on in terms of truth. And I want to go into this a little bit because, just as an example, most recently a number of us have asked specific questions with regard to the spectrum and about the importance of the spectrum and managing it on behalf of the defense of our country by the Department of Defense. And on over 28 different occasions, we have asked specifically members of the United States Armed Services who were wearing the uniform their professional military opinion. And in some cases, I suspect that their honest and straightforward answers have probably gotten them into a little bit of hot water with individuals who simply wear a suit and tie in an administration. But nonetheless, they have adhered to the principle that they're required to give us a straightforward answer. It is the most important thing that you can do in coming before this committee. I lay that out for you because this is what makes the difference between a young man's ability to defend himself on the battlefield. And I'm going to start, General Grenkowicz, you've served and you've flown a 4th-generation aircraft, you've flown a 5th-generation aircraft. Things are going to change very rapidly on the battlefield for young men and women. Today on the battlefield, would you say that if the enemy can see you, a young man or a woman, regardless of whether he's in a tank or whether he's in an aircraft or in a command center, if they can see you, they can kill you? Is that a fair statement?
Senator, I think it is in most cases. There are a few times when they can see us and try to take a swipe at us, and we have ways to evade or defeat that. But it is the transparency on the modern battlefield is apparent, I think, based on what we've seen, both in Brad's current AOR as the deputy commander and in the Russia-Ukraine fight.
Thank you. And Admiral Cooper, same question to you. If they can see you, can they kill you, or at least they're going to do their best to try and kill you?
Senator, absolutely. Retaining our advantage, whether that's a stealth advantage or advantage of maneuver or our overmatch, which we have at times in the spectrum, is critical. I'd also add, with respect to the spectrum, I spent my entire adult life at sea on guided missile destroyers and guided missile cruisers. They are national assets. They would be rendered highly ineffective without the type of spectrum management that you've been advocating for.
Thank you. And this is the reason why I think it is absolutely critical. And there's going to be lots of questions up here about munitions and everything else. But if I could simply, once again, strongly recommend that when the question from any member of this committee, Republican or Democrat, is given to you, and they ask for your professional military opinion, it's because we're trying to find out exactly what's going on. And even if it's uncomfortable, this is where the rubber really meets the road, is when you provide that information to us, we make better decisions. And that's, I think, what this place is all about, is the oversight does not work if we can't count on you for that straightforward, hard-hitting response to our questions. With that, I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.